Hello, my beautiful people. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Depends where you are in the world. I did a video in the evening because normally I do my videos in the daytime and it's like, all that uh, full of energy. And so that's like a normal, that's me. But that video that I did in the evening, I quite liked. I enjoyed doing it. Because evening is like, I'm in my relaxed clothes and it's just a relaxed, very relaxing time. And if you have time and you can connect with your thoughts, then I think it's really it's after spending the whole day, I think it's just time to um, really, I mean, just come back to yourself. And then if you can connect with your thoughts, like I said, then probably I think it's nice to share them with other people too. So I decided to do another video. So I hope everyone is doing well and you're all happy and smiling, because I always keep saying, please keep smiling, because that's really very important. Smile is the best jewelry you can wear. Seriously, it's the best ornament. It's just something so precious that we have. And there's another thing. I'm not saying that everybody's smile is beautiful, of course, but if you pay more attention, then, and not being judgmental at all, but it's just like obviously it differs from person to person. So it also depends like in what mood we are in and who are we dealing with. If we're dealing with a person who is by nature quite firm and unfriendly and all that stuff, and and some people just smile, they smile like so most of the time the smile that you get from those people is like that sort of smile. When people give you a smirk, like, that's sarcastic, of course. So there are so many different types, but they're not smiles. It's just like you stretch your face. You call it a smile, but it's not really. Your soul is not. It's not projecting your soul, or you're not projecting your soul in that smile. So yeah, keep your smile healthy and alive and vibrant and colorful and beautiful. And it's not that you have to do the makeup of your smile and you have to plan it like, oh, it should look like this. No, it's just keep your soul clean, keep your heart clean, love everybody, love unconditionally, every life, everybody. Don't expect anything in return. Don't hate anybody, don't hold resentments. Keep your energy clean, keep your space clean and clear of any kind of stagnancy. And so these are the things that actually they give you a beautiful smile. The smile is your essence. So anyway, in my last video I was talking about food. And guys, please, I mean, don't mind my clothes, because as I said, I was just retiring for bed a minute after that now, and so I just look like literally I'm in my pajamas. So yeah, so when people talk about this, when I was talking about food in my last video that I did in the evening, I just touched on it, but I couldn't obviously say much, because then I didn't want to make the video too long. But like everything else is an energy, food is an energy too. And whatever you obviously must have heard that, like, you are what you eat. It's not just a saying. It really means it, because you become what you eat. Because that food becomes you, and you become that food. So we should be very careful in what we eat. That food's energy is very important. So that's why ideally we should keep away from the processed and dead food, and all that food that's been cooked by other people, eating their food every day. Other people, there's no problem with it, but the food is it's a very delicate energy. So how it's been handled? Who is cooking it? When your mother cooks for you, when your wife cooks for you, sister, daughter, whoever, or even any family member, it could be a male person. When somebody from your family cooks for you, they cook it with love, thinking of you, thinking of your likes and dislikes, what you like, what you don't like. And so they're actually putting that loving energy in there when they're cooking, even if they're not doing it deliberately, but because they're thinking of you. Like if I cook food for my husband or for my son or for my daughter or for my children, for anybody, or for my friend, and I think like, oh, they like chicken, okay, so I'm cooking that chicken. Now I'm not all the time thinking about my friend, but because I'm trying to, and oh, that person doesn't like much, they don't like too hot, they don't like too sweet, that sort of things. So that thought actually goes in there. We are constantly engaged with that person's thoughts or whatever their likes and dislikes, and that our connection with them, that's going indirectly in that whatever you're cooking. Makes a lot of difference. So the food is very, very important, like who is handling it, how people are handling it. Obviously we're living in a commercial world where there are restaurants, there are takeaways. People don't have time to cook for themselves. They just get like pre-cooked food or properly fully cooked food, or the food that they just bring and stick in the oven has been already been marinated or prepared or half cooked and everything. The problem here is not the food. The problem here is how it's been handled, who prepared it. If that person had nothing to do with you, well, maybe you can do with that. Fine, okay, they didn't have anything to do with you. They were not thinking about you. Some complete stranger have cooked that food for you. That, to that extent, maybe is you can probably just, it's not ignorable, but you can still think like, okay, not to think too much about it. But then it comes to like the commercial food industry. So when people are cooking, obviously because they're doing it for making money, they're not doing it because they love you, and so they're doing it, their focus is all on money. The person who is cooking it is thinking of, because he has to cook it nicely because of his salary. The person who's running that restaurant or that food place, their intention is, although they're not handling the food, but obviously they're getting the food, everything in, is to make money out of it, right? So money is involved here, not love. Money is involved. So that's one thing. The other thing is, obviously these people work so hard and they're cooking for the whole lot. They're cooking for so many people. We're humans. We get tired. So they also get tired. So when they get tired, that tiring energy, that's why when you're cooking at home, it's not advisable to cook when you're tired. So take a deep breath, calm yourself down, and then cook your food. Wash your hands, take a shower, then cook your food. Because if you're cooking your food in stale energy, angry energy, tired energy, that will all go in that food. And then your family will eat it. You don't want to do that. Or you will eat it, So same goes with these commercial people. When they cook that food, first of all, so many hands, so many energies get involved. Handling, right? The other thing is the mood they're in, the energy they're in. Now, you can't tell them to fix their energy, or you have to be happy, you have to be loving towards us. Keep my picture there so you'll be thinking about me. You cannot be tired. Even if you're angry with your boss or with any customer or anybody else, you can't be angry. That's not possible. This all happens during the day to these people. They are obviously getting tired, they're getting, um, they can also get upset about things. They're thinking about their money, they're thinking about like when their hours are going to finish so they can go home, all those things. And that is all being put indirectly in that energy is going in your food, in that food. That comes and that goes in your mouth and in your system, in your tummy. So that's why it's very important to see what food we're eating. Where is it coming from? And that's what I said. Like, if you want, I also like eating out. It's not like I don't eat out. I like eating out. Good places, selective places, but I definitely like eating out. But not every day. Because obviously, it's a part of life. It's a part of our life now. Because going to the restaurant, what is the outing? Mostly, family outing is like, okay, let's go for dinner, right? If it's somebody's birthday, okay, let's go for dinner. That's a celebration. But not every day. You don't do that every day. Every day you cook your food like it's cooked. It should be cooked like worship, with so much respect, so much love. So you get the full benefit from that food. It's not you just it's this is not a dustbin or something where you just throw the things in and it gets filled. No. Energy, whatever energy you will put in this energy, you will become that. So it's entirely up to you what you want to be. Sometimes people just think like we're eating, we feel full, and the job is done. No, there's so much after that. Obviously, there's the whole factory inside. Your body has to process that food. We all know that because it goes through your small and big intestine and all that stuff, and then it goes through it goes in your stomach first. I'm not telling you the process, what happens, but what I'm telling you is that is what happens to this solid, that whatever you eat. But the energy, that you become that energy. I don't know if I can explain it. That's why it's very important to eat more live food. Live doesn't mean like you eat the live cow. No, that means like go for more fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, freshly cooked food. Even if you're eating meat, if you eat non-veg, then you go for something that you buy the meat, the source of that meat, where it's coming from, that where you're buying from, then you bring it home, then you prepare it, you cook it, and then you eat it, or you feed it to your family and eat it yourself too. The whole process it should be done like a worship, like a very sacred work, because that's something that you are going to become, or your family is going to become. Very important. Very important. So that's one thing. The other thing is where you're eating your food. We're ignoring so much in our life. We're all making this mistake. If you're hungry, you will just buy the food anywhere and sit down and eat. I mean, people do it. I don't do that, but people do it. I never did that even with my children. If they said they were hungry, I used to take them either to somewhere where they can wash their hands, or I can wipe their hands with the wet wipes, and they could sit there, and then I used to give them my own made sandwich. Or if I buy this sandwich from the supermarket, if it's we haven't taken anything from home, then but I would never give them a packet of crisp or a sandwich from anywhere, and sitting on a bus stop you're eating, or sitting in the car you're eating, or I didn't do that. Because the thing is, the place also plays a role in where you're eating. Now, you're sitting there. You think like this person who is sitting next to you is just a person, like they're in their body, you can see them. But they're also an energy. You're an energy, they're an energy. So when that person, maybe if you're sitting on a bus stop, okay, let's just do it like a public place. So if you're sitting on a bus stop, your child asks for food. You've already bought something. You will get that out and say, eat it. Or you eating it yourself. The person sitting next to you is in such a bad mood because they've missed their bus. They're extremely tired. So you're sitting next to in that environment where their energy is so dull, so drowned at that time. And then that's also affecting your food because that's also affecting you. And then that's also affecting their food. So it's just a chain that only can be broken if we are selective in where we eating, how we eating, what we eat. If we don't do that, that means we're being very careless and we're actually literally indulging other people's energies from wherever we are. In the old days, I remember, like, you can call it superstitious, but it's not superstitious because when it comes to dealing with the energies, because we are an energy, you can't deny that at all. So when it comes to energies, so then we know that energies obviously get affected, or they cannot affect other energy. They can, even for that moment, but they can. Our grandmothers, and I remember I've seen so many elderly ladies in my culture. When they had babies, and if the mother goes somewhere with the baby and they had a bottle of milk or something, and even if the baby is hungry, and if it's a breastfeed, no, the mother will not feed anywhere. Just sit anywhere and just start feeding the baby by the bottle or breastfeeding. No. They used to wait to go home or go somewhere where in private and then feed their baby. So what was the reason? The reason was because you don't know what is around you, what energies are around you at that time. The other humans, the other people around you, what kind of energy they're carrying, what mood they're in. Our moods change all the time. Our aura colors change all the time. I remember my daughter was like about 5 or 6 at that time. And obviously children can see auras. And I was talking to her teacher in the school. And because when I talk, I get quite excited. So I was getting excited. And I think we were actually discussing something that was quite exciting. Anyway, so I was very happy and excited. When I came from there, my daughter said, "Mom, what was that thing on your head?" And I said, what thing? And she said, "You had the big golden rings on your head." I said, that must be my aura changing colors, because I was quite excited, happy there. So it must be my aura. And I tried to explain to her what the aura is, but obviously, how much a child can understand. But what I'm saying is, our energy changes every minute. And so does our aura and our vibration. That's why it's very important to keep an eye where you are, who you're with. I mean, there was a time in my life, I don't want to even think about that time. That was quite a passive time, because you go through the phases in your life, and you always learn something. Hopefully you learn something. There was a time I was with somebody who was such a drowned, passive, negative energy. And this person, although I tried to help them out, gave them a hand, thinking like maybe I can lift their energy, but if I wouldn't be careful, they would have easily drowned me down, because they were just in such a heavy, stagnant energy. And they didn't want to come out of it because they didn't want to be aware. Some people just choose to be there, unfortunately, no matter how much you try to help them. So was this person. No matter how much I tried helping him, it didn't work. And in the end, I actually started protecting my own energy. I used to pray for him. I used to think like, hopefully he'll get better. Hopefully he will also understand that he's in such a drowned, stagnant energy. Your thoughts also change your energy. If you are being manipulative, if you're lying about the things, if you're cheating on your partner, if you're talking to people with low energy, people who are after money, or you're after money, they're very worldly interests with each other, everything changes your energy. And this person was actually very much engaged. I realized it afterwards. He was so engaged unfortunately, in all those activities. He was talking to all different kind of females, and they were all like, of course, I mean, God, what I'm saying is, when you're dealing with that kind of people and they're around you, you can pray for them. You should pray for them. If it makes difference or it doesn't make difference, that's obviously only God knows. But you should always pray for them and protect your own energy. Because if you're not in the high vibration, then they can easily, you know, sweep you away. They can. Because they are already drowning. They are actually a prey of that heaviness and stagnant energy. The energy is not light, so it's going up. No. Your energy is light. So if you don't protect your energy and you don't keep in that high vibration, you can easily go with their energy and then, so that's why it's very important to see. I mean, but it can be a family member, it can be a friend, it can be anybody, it can be your spouse, husband, boyfriend, whoever, or girlfriend or wife. So when you are with, by mistake or because of, that may be a bad phase in your life, if you come across such people, I will say, look after your energy. Always pray for them. Also pray for them. But also look after your energy. Because the thing is, like I always say, that if you are in an aeroplane and the oxygen is low, the first person you should put the mask on, oxygen mask on, is you. So you can also help other people. So that's why even if you try to help that person, whoever is you think like is going down, is drowning, you should protect yourself first. Otherwise you can't help them. So they will also take you down with them. Some people never improve. Unfortunately, they're not fortunate enough to improve. But sometimes they do. Some people do. So you can at least pray for them. You can at least try at that time. I mean, in my life, whenever I met somebody who was carrying a heavy and drowned energy, I mean, this was a very close connection that I just mentioned. This person was actually, being in the same space, sharing the space with them. Sometimes it feels like a punishment because obviously, you're on totally different frequencies, and they're not understanding anything. Maybe they've seen a different life and they just don't want to come to light. They are so used to that darkness, and you're the person of light. I've always been a light worker, so it was very difficult for me to even make them understand that they're not in the right place, and also protect myself from getting dragged into that darkness. It could be your child sometime, it can be your relatives, your close friends sometime, it can be anybody. You can make them aware, but it also happens by choice. So anyway, we're talking about the energies. Again, the video is quite like 23 minutes something. Unfortunately, when I'm doing the video, time goes so quickly, or maybe I like so much talking to you. So protect your energy, always. Try to help other people too. If you see them drowning, if you see like they're in a dark place, pray for them. Try to help them, try to make them aware, tell them they need to come into light. But that's their choice. It happens by choice, of course. The teacher only appears when the student is ready. So until they are ready, they cannot. The life will not show them the light, unfortunately. But anyway, look after your food. Be very careful with your food. Wash your hands, clean your hands. Don't eat driving, walking, sitting on the bus stops, traveling in the trains and tubes. No. The tubes are full of people and somebody's eating their sandwich there. And on the other hand, they've got phone. No. You want this food to do some good for you. This is how you treat it. So I think I will do another continuation of this video. just now. But anyway, so you're going to see the part 2. I'm going to make this part 1, and the part 2 I'm going to do immediately right now, sitting in my pajamas, right? Okay. So just bear with me and think about what I said. So I'll give you a little more, I'll try to give you a little picture of more things that we do with food and how dangerous it can be. Right. Okay. See you in a minute in the next video.